What's going on? It's facts you don't know. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more well informed, make sure to subscribe and activate the notifications bell so you don't miss anything.
Number 5. Prince Randian. Prince Randian, sometimes misspelled Rardian or Randian, October 12, 1871 through December 19, 1934. Also nicknamed the Snake Man, the Human Torso, the Human Caterpillar, and a variety of other names, was a Guyanese-born American performer with tetra amelia syndrome and a famous limbless sideshow performer of the early 1900s, best known for his ability to roll cigarettes with his lips. He was reportedly brought to the United States by P.T. Barnum in 1889, age 18, and was a popular Coney Island carnival and circus attraction for 45 years. Prince Randian was featured in the 1932 film Freaks, his only film appearance, in which he's seen lighting up a cigarette with a match. Randian, whose birth name is unknown, was born with no arms and no legs in Demerara, British Guyana. He was Hindu and spoke Hindi, English, French, and German, according to a passenger manifest of SS Parima from April 14, 1917. He lived previously at Charlotte Amalie, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, with his wife known as Princess Sarah, apparently a Hindu woman born circa 1872. He fathered 3 daughters and a son. Their children were Mary Randian, born 1893, Richard Randian, born 1901, Elizabeth Randian, born 1904, and Wilhelmina Randian, born 1904. In the 1920s, he was working for Krause Amusement Company and lived in Plainfield, New Jersey. He and his wife lived at 174 Water Street, Paterson, New Jersey, until his death. Number 4. Simon Metz. Schlitzie, alternatively spelled Schlitz or Schlitz, September 10, 1901 through September 24, 1971, possibly born Simon Metz, and legally Schlitz Surtees, was an American sideshow performer. He also appeared in a few films and is best known for his role in the 1932 movie Freaks. His lifelong career on the outdoor entertainment circuit as a major sideshow attraction with Barnum and Bailey, among others, made him a popular cultural icon. Schlitz's true birth date, name, location, and parents are unknown. The information on his death certificate and gravesite indicate that he was born on September 10, 1901, in the Bronx, New York, though some sources have claimed that he was born in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Claims that he was born in Yucatan, Mexico are mistaken reflections of Schlitzie's occasional fanciful billing as Maggie, last of the Aztec children. Information about Schlitzie's identity at birth may never be known, the information having been lost as he was handed off to various carnivals in a long line of mostly informal guardianships throughout his career. Schlitzie was born with microcephaly, a neurodevelopmental disorder that left him with an unusual small brain and skull, a small stature, he stood about 4 feet tall, myopia, and severe intellectual disability. It's possible that these features were caused by Seckle syndrome. It was said Schlitzie had the cognition of a 3-year-old. He was able to care fully for himself and could speak only in monosyllabic words and form a few simple phrases. However, he was able to perform simple tasks, and it's believed that he could understand most of what was said to him, as he had a very quick reaction time and the ability to mimic. Those who knew Schlitzie described him as an affectionate, exuberant, sociable person who loved dancing, singing, and being the center of attention, performing for anyone he could stop and talk with. Number 3. Edward Mordache. Edward Mordache, variously Mordrake, is the apocryphal subject of an urban legend who was, according to the legend, born in the 19th century, heir to an English peerage, and had a face at the back of his head. If you watched American Horror Story Freak Show, you heard about Edward Mordrake and his demon face that sat on the back of his head. The show went on to describe how Mordrake joined a sideshow and eventually killed everyone in it before taking his own life, and then haunting sideshows every Halloween. Mordrake is based off the story of Edward Mordache, who dates back to the late 19th century. Edward Mordache in Anomalies and Curiosities of Medicine. Illustrations here depict others with extra heads. The first known description of Mordache is found in 1895 Boston Post article authored by fiction writer Charles Lotin Hildreth. The article describes a number of cases of what Hildreth refers to as human freaks, including a woman who had the tail of a fish, a man with the body of a spider, a man who is half crab, and Edward Mordache. Hildreth claimed to have found these cases described in old reports of Royal Scientific Society. It's unclear whether a society with this name existed. Hildreth's article was not factual and was probably published by the newspaper as fact simply to increase reader interest. Number 2. Charles Sherwood Stratton. Charles Sherwood Stratton, January 4th, 1838 to July 15th, 1883, better known by his stage name General Tom Thumb, was a dwarf who achieved the great fame as a performer under circus pioneer P.T. Barnum. Born to parents of normal stature, Charles Stratton ceased growing at the age of 6 months and remained 25 inches, that's 0.6 meters tall, weighing just 15 pounds until his teens. He later grew to 40 inches, 1 meter, and 70 pounds. He was not quite 5 years old when Barnum hired him for his museum, but Barnum publicized him as General Tom Thumb, an 11-year-old dwarf from England. He quickly became a celebrated figure in the United States and abroad. In 1863, Stratton married Lavinia Warren, 1841 to 1919, another of Barnum's performers, known as the Little Queen of Beauty, in an elaborately staged ceremony at Grace Episcopal Church in New York City. Number 1. Giacomo and Giovanni Battisti Tocci. Giacomo and Giovanni Battisti Tocci were two-headed conjoined twins born in Locarno, Italy, between 1875 and 1877, on either July or October 4th. Their mother, Maria Luigia Mezzanrosa, was 19 years old. She had an easy time with the birth as they were rather small. They were delivered normally, with one head appearing first, the other head and torso second, and the pelvis and legs third. The one on the right was named Giovanni Battisti, and the one on the left, Giacomo. They had one umbilical cord and one placenta. Their father, Giovanni Tocci, had a breakdown due to the appearance of his firstborn sons and was put into a lunatic asylum until he recovered a month later. The twins spoke Italian, French, and German. They settled disputes between themselves with their fists. While Giovanni liked beer, Giacomo preferred mineral water. Giacomo was talkative and Giovanni quiet. In 1891, the boys came to the United States for an extensive tour and were paid $1,000 a week. In March 1892, they arrived in New York City and stayed for 3 weeks. Their one-year tour turned into a 5-year tour as their popularity grew in the United States. In 1897, the twins decided to retire in Italy, buying a villa in Venice. Now in their 20s, Giovanni and Giacomo became recluses, never leaving their high-walled villa. Their experiences in the freak show made them wary of any sort of exhibition. In 1900, it was reported that they were alive and well. In 1904, the brothers married 2 women. Legal speculation followed. The public did not know what would happen if the twins decided to have children. Later reports contradicted each other. One, in 1906, claimed the brothers had died. But in 1911, it was confirmed that they were still alive by another report. Again, another report written in 1934 stated that in 1912 they were alive and had children. Still, another report claims they died in the 1940s, childless. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as